Hey all, this is a dark demo from the Adrenaline Bot forums. Today I'm going to show you my intelligent buffer script for classic Lineage 2 servers that's being sold in the marketplace. So first thing we're going to do is open up the script for the first time in the bot. As you can see, I'm not logged into the bot. I click this little icon here to give me like a profile name to be able to load and work with the bot while it's offline. So we're going to open up the all-in-one buffer script, which is what the file name is called for the intelligent buffer script. As you can see here, it shows the versions and change logs of what has been done. If your version does not match this, or the version posted on the forums, you can contact me through Skype, get a free update. So we're going to start the script here, pushing play. And as you can see here at the bottom, it says configuration file not found. It's creating the file, gives you the pathing that it created the file with the file name. It's saying it's stopping the script. It's telling you to open the file and gives you the path again and set up, and then start the script once you're finished. So as you can see here, it created the intelligent buffer config. We're going to edit this and let's just go over a couple things real quick here. So at the top, how to use. 0 for settings equals disabled or turned off. 1 means enabled or turned on. When you fill out names anywhere, you got to type names exactly as they are shown in the game. So if you have any capitalization, you need to use it, or else it won't work properly. This script does support all the buffers, and so a normal rebuff, like on buffs for typical like profit or workwear or anything, the rebuff is basically how many seconds are left in the buff before it starts to rebuff them. So this is done in milliseconds, as you can see up here. So 60,000 milliseconds equals 60 seconds or 1 minute remaining. Dances also does it for songs. It just has one word for it. So this is within 1 second of the buff. So by the time the buff's finished casting, the dance or song is already worn off. Rebuff distance is already set to its max 900, as that's typical max distance on most buffs. So we're going to go over some of these settings and what they mean. So if you're playing a solo hunt and you just have your buffer following you, you could turn this setting on here and the bot will detect if you need buffs, and when they run out, it'll invite you into the party. So for this setting here, we're going to change that to 1, and then if you want the buffer to leave once it's done buffing you, you change that to 1. And now when you do this, you also need to put your name on the accept list right here. It could be in any of these slots. I mean, you should start off on the first slot here. So if your name was Bob, like that, in the game, whenever it's noticed that you need buffs, it'll send an invite to you. You can accept the invite, and it would give you all your buffs and then leave party. So that's for solo play. So we're going to change these settings back to the way they were. Now, if you're doing out of party buffer, which is typical, a lot of people do that, you want to turn on auto leave, and for this you can do allow clan, or allow alliance, or allow individuals or your own characters. So some people, they have their buffer sitting out in the field. Some clan members are out there hunting. They could each come over if this was turned on, or same with alliance. They can send an invite to the bot. The bot would take it, detect their buff class, what buffs they need, if they're a warrior, mage, tank, and give them the proper set of buffs. So again, we're going to show you just how to do it for yourself, assuming that you're not in a clan and your bot's not in a clan or anything like that. So turn on auto leave, you put your name back on the accept list. So the accept list works for multiple things, multiple different settings here. So put your name on the accept list, or anybody else, whoever the party leader is of that party should be on this list. Sometimes you get leechers in your party that are just being power leveled. You don't want to waste mana on them. You can add their names to this list here, and so like a character like a prophet, if it sees their names on this don't buff list, it will ignore them and buff everybody else. Sometimes there's other classes in your party that they kind of want like both buffs. Like they could be a tank, but they also want warrior buffs. So for that, you would force knight their name, because if you just put their name on one list, like if you change that knight to a force warrior, it would only give that knight warrior buffs because it's now treating its class as a warrior class. So you put their name on the force knight, force warrior, and it'll give both sets of buffs. And that's how the force settings work on these. So we're going to change the auto leave to 0, and now we're going to just show you how to set up things where if the buffer's in party with your group. So you don't need it to leave, you don't need it to send invites to you, but you do want it to have I apologize, we needed to turn on allow invite also previously for any of the inviting parts by alliance, clan, or the accept list. I do apologize for missing that step. So typically for in-party buffs, you don't need to change any of these settings here. You can leave them all blank. You should though put on allow invites and then set up your party leader name here, just in case the character ever disconnects, drops, or whatever, it can get put back into the party. Now once these settings up here are done, you find your buffer class. So if you're gonna play, let's say a prophet, which is typical on what a lot of people who buy the script use. So you scroll down, you find it, it shows the list of buff classes up here. Sword Singer, Sword Muse. It tells you setting 0 means the buff is off, or it doesn't give that buff. 1 means it does give this buff. You only enable skills that are already learned on your character. So we'll scroll down to your cleric, prophet, whichever that you currently have it as. It supports all of them. So like I said, only enable what you currently have learned. So start turning on like Windwalk, Might, Shield, etc. down the list. And if you have multiple buffers in your party, you just find them on this list here and you turn them all on, and you load this the script. Well, not this, but this is the config file. You'll load the script on each of the buffers, and the script will control each of them, and they'll give out the proper buffs to everybody. So once we're done making our changes to this, you'd save the script, and then you go back to the bot and you hit play. Now with this script, it only reads the configuration file on the initial load of the script. So if you're you make changes while it's running, you'd have to stop the script and then start it again for it to read the new changes. So we're gonna hit play here, and it says configuration file found, loading the configuration. It tells you it's been activated, but since this script has a condition to make sure that we're online to continue to run, it auto turns off after. But as you see, this is how it would look when it starts up. So that would conclude this tutorial on how to set up these options in the script.